what's up, internet friends? This is Dave DeWhitt. Welcome to Midnight Muse Studios and a guitar lesson on how to play Trevor Rabin's solo in the Yes song, Owner of a Lonely Heart. I'm also going to show you how to get the basic tone for the solo using this pitchfork pedal from Electro-Harmonix, which I absolutely love. I'm going to give you a basic overview of the features and functions of the pitchfork, and then at the end of the video, after the lesson, I'm going to give you a demo of a couple of the other tones you can get out of this. So the pitchfork is made in the USA by Electro-Harmonix. You've got a couple of knobs on this. One of the knobs is a shift knob, which controls the interval that's being shifted for the amount of the pitch shift. It goes all the way from just a minor D tune up to 1, 2, 3 octaves above or below, and you've got all the intervals in between there that you could possibly need: minor second, major third, fourth, fifth, sixth, minor seventh. So it's got a huge range there. The other knob is a blend knob, which allows you to control how much dry signal versus affected pitched signal you have in the mix. And then you have a mini toggle switch in the middle, which controls whether or not the pitch is shifted up or down or both. It does both in dual mode. And there's a mini button in the middle of the pedal called latch. That's going to affect the way the foot toggle switch behaves and the expression pedal input. So this does have an expression pedal input, which you can use to affect and control different parameters of the pedal depending on which mode it's in, latch versus momentary. So that's pretty much it. It's a great pedal. It's a good price on this pedal, and it really does it all in terms of pitch shifting. It's a pedal board friendly form factor, so I really love this thing. What I'm doing for Owner of a Lonely Heart for the solo is I have it set on the perfect fifth setting for the shift. I have it on up only, and the blend control is set around 11 o'clock. So I'm playing it on my Strat, going into the dirty channel on the Bogner. The gain is not very high, it's maybe set 11 o'clock on the dirty channel, and then recorded it into Logic. Now, I was listening to the solo, the studio recording, and realized that that there was quite a bit of slapback echo, slapback delay on the guitar tone, along with some reverb, of course, and the pitch shifting that they did on the studio recording. They probably had something like a Eventide H9000 or something that's pretty powerful. And there's a lot of separation of tone there. There's a lot of panning that's happening. So you can hear some standard panning in sections of the solo if you listen in headphones too, where they're going back and forth left to right, which is really cool. But I didn't do any of that in the mix down for the sample at the beginning. But you can hear that it's the basic tone with just the pitchfork. So I did add in the mix down in Logic. I added some slapback delay and some reverb there. So, all right, that's it for the tone. Let's go ahead and get into the lesson, and then I'll give you some demos of the pitchfork on a couple other solo types on the other side of the lesson. All right. So we're going to break the solo up into sections. In section 1, the very beginning of the solo, we're going to start on the B string, 8th fret, with the ring finger of the left hand. And you're going to bend this up a whole step bend. You're going to release the bend and play the 8th fret, staying with your ring finger. So it's like this. Alright, now that's just the direct tone without the pitch shift. If I engage the pitchfork here with the perfect fifth up, here's what we're going to get. Now the second part is going to be 7th fret of the D string. You're going to basically bar with your ring finger across the 7th fret of the D string, the G string, and the B strings. And it's kind of like you're playing a D major bar chord, those middle notes. What you're going to do is you're going to pick the 7th fret of the D string, and you're going to pick then the 7th fret of the G and the B string, and you're going to then play the 5th fret of the G and the B strings with your second finger bar. So it's like this. One more time, slow. And then reach back down with your ring finger and play that 7th fret D string again with your ring finger. So it's like this, the whole pattern. So with the perfect fifth engaged on the pitchfork. Alright, so far what you have is All right, we'll turn the pitchfork back off again. Now, to finish the first section, you're gonna play a hammer-on from the 5th fret of the B string with your 2nd finger up to the 8th fret of the B string with your ring finger. And vibrato that 8th fret note. So with the pitchfork, it sounds like this. Alright, so the whole first section, without the pitchfork. Okay, now with the pitchfork engaged. Alright, now for section 2, we're going to be on to this part. It's going to be on the 10th fret of the E string with your ring finger. It's a whole step bend. Then you're going to be down to the 8th fret with your 2nd finger on the E string. And then back to the 10th fret of the E string on your ring finger, no bend. So it's like this, slowly. Alright, when you engage the pitchfork with the 5th up, it sounds like this. Okay, then we're going to go up to the 22nd fret of the E string with your ring finger, and you're going to do a whole step bend. And what I do on that one, it's hard to get the sustain sometimes on the 22nd fret, so you just kind of keep picking it, either quarter notes or 8th notes or something like that. So with the pitchfork, it's going to sound like... Now you're going to go down to the open G string, and you're going to play the G string, then the 2nd fret of the G string with your 2nd finger, and then the 4th fret with your ring finger, and bend up like this. And release that bend, and back to the 2nd fret, 2nd fret. Okay, that's kind of a flat bend. It's not really a whole step bend. All right, and with your pitchfork engaged, it sounds like this. Okay. Then you're going to go up to your 8th fret of the E string again, and you're going to do a quick pick on the 8th fret, and you're going to come down to the 10th fret on the B string with your ring finger. So it's kind of a quick grace note, kind of leading into that 10th fret of the B string. And then you're going to go to the 8th fret of the B string with your 2nd finger. And then back to the 10th fret of the B string and give it some vibrato. So it's like this slowly. Okay, and with the pitchfork. Alright, and I think Trevor Rabin actually does that grace note kind of thing twice. So if you want to really nail it, I think it's kind of like this more. It's the grace note. And then instead of just going right back to the 10th fret, I think it's the same thing at the very beginning, which is the 8th fret E string to the 10th fret B string. So it's like this. Okay, and with the pitchfork. Then you're going to go back to the 8th fret E string, 10th fret B string, 10th fret E string, 8th fret E string, 10th fret B string, and then you're going to go to the 9th fret of the G string with your middle finger, and then pull off to the open G. And then Trevor Rabin does, like when he pulls off to that open G, he's down behind the nut up here where your strings are, and he's going to actually bend the G string from behind the nut back here. So you take your middle finger, and as the G string is ringing out, you're going to take your middle finger and sort of bend that G string around a little bit to give it that kind of cool, like behind the nut bend sound. Now you can do this with a whammy bar, or you could even, you could pick the note. If you don't have, if you have a locking nut or something you can't bend like that, you can pick this note on your 5th fret of the D string, and you can bend like that with your finger. But the way that I think he does it, so Trevor Rabin has a great lesson on this. While you're watching this one when he has one out there, right? But no, just kidding, because this one has the pitchfork. But he has a great lesson out there himself, the man himself, on how to do this, and he shows you that he bends behind the nut. So if you can bend behind the nut, that's the real deal way to do it, like Trevor Rabin does it. So you're gonna basically go. pitchfork. Alright, and then moving on to the last part of the solo, the last section, you're going to go up to the 12th fret of the D string with your second finger, 14th fret with your ring finger of the D string, 12th fret G string, second finger, 14th fret G string, ring finger, so it's, and then you're going to go back to the 12th fret G string with your second finger, and you're going to do a whole step vibrato bend, kind of like that, just kind of hold that. Like that. Now the very last section is going to be this A minor pentatonic sort of a flurry, a run that he does, bluesy kind of flurry. Gets a little fast. It's in your first position A pentatonic shape, but you're going to be up in the shape that's kind of built around the 17th fret. Now, the first note of the last section is going to be the 20th fret of the B string with your ring finger, and you're going to do a whole step bend up. You're going to hold that, and then the last run, again, it's this A minor pentatonic. So you're in your A blues box here on the B and the E strings here. So your 17th fret B string with your second finger, 20th fret B string ring finger, 17th fret E string, second finger, 20th fret E string, ring finger. So it's okay. So it's that's the first part of that last little flurry, and then you're going to go to the 19th fret E string with your middle finger, back to the 20th fret ring finger, and then you're going to. What I do is kind of a series of pull-offs. So I'll pick the 19th fret with my middle finger, hammer onto the 20th fret, pull off back to the 19th fret, and then pull off to the 17th fret index finger, like that. So that's the basic pattern. Slowly, it's like that, down to the 20th fret B string with your ring finger, back to the 17th fret with your index finger on the E string, 20th fret B string again, 19th fret B string middle finger, 20th fret ring finger B string, and then you're going to do that same pull off sort of riff between the 19th fret, 20th fret, so 19, 20, 19, 17, but you're doing it on the B string this time. So coming out of those pull-offs on the B string, you're going to go to the 19th fret G string with your middle finger, then back to the 17th fret B string with your index finger, back to the 19th fret middle finger on the G string, to the 17th fret G string with your index finger, 19th fret D string, middle finger, and then you're going to lay your middle finger, so almost like you lay down a bar with your middle finger. So you're on the 19th fret D string, so flatten your middle finger now, and bar to your B string 19th fret, and then your 19th fret D string again, and then your 17th fret G string, and hammer on and pick the 19th fret G string with your middle, and go back to your 17th fret to end it. Like that. So the whole run slowly, if I can do it right here, is kind of like that. I think I might have messed it up, but it's basically a pentatonic blues run. Something flashy, try to hit those notes, and you got to end. It's important that you end on the 17th fret G string with that kind of that bend that's going on, that vibrato. So as long as you end on that after your A pentatonic run, it'll sound like it. Now if we put the pitchfork on and play that whole end section, it kind of sounds like this, starting from the 12th fret D string section. So that's the solo. Alright, so I'm going to do a couple other things with the pitchfork here just to show you some of the other things that it can do. So I mentioned it can do an octave up and an octave down. And what this kind of does for us here is it's going to give you a tone that's kind of like Fool in the Rain, I think, like the Jimmy Page solo, Fool in the Rain. So he does, this is definitely not note for note, by the way, but he does some open G string. Something like that. Now, if you add the pitchfork with an octave up and an octave down, so now you've got your middle toggle switch in dual mode, and your blend is right about the 12 o'clock, so you're blending everything about equally. So octave up, octave down, you kind of get this really cool sound like what I think he's got going on in that solo. So that's one thing you can do with the pedal. So for just the octave up, just a quick example, I was thinking, it sounds a little bit to me like what Brian May does in the solo for Killer Queen. There's an octave up in there, and again, definitely not note for note here, but he's playing something like that. Now if you add your octave up on the pitchfork, now this is just the octave up, not the octave up and the octave down, just the up, and the blend is now down further because I just want to hear a little bit of the octave in here. To give it that Brian May kind of tone that he has going on, and again, this is not going to be his tone because the humbucker on the Strat is really not really where he's living with, it's really not where he's at tone wise. But the octave up's going to get you in the ballpark, and it's so a lot of cool pitch things you can do with this pedal. Like I said, it's kind of a really great all-in-one solution for everything that you want to do pitch-wise, and it's a great price and a small form factor, so it's great for your pedal board, and it's just fun. So I'm sure I'm going to think of more things that I can do with it, and I'm probably going to end up using it a lot. So I hope you enjoyed the demo, and let me know if you have any questions. You can put them in the comments, and thanks for watching. Take it easy.